Right now, we bring you to the Capitol Square. See how many people came out for the first Dane County Farmers Market of the season. Also, how one local man is trying to help cut down on waste created by disposable vapes. Welcome to News 3 Now. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. It's that time of the year again. The first farmers market at the square kicked off earlier today. Our Tanisha Shaw is giving us a look at turnout and introducing us to a vendor that's been working at the market for 25 years.
Farmers market is, my life.
The Dane County's farmers market is back. While it's only here until November, the market is a year-round job for Rachel Murphy and her family.
I mean, what kind of job do you get to bring your own kids to work every day?
Every year, the Murphs look forward to being one of the 60 vendors at the Capitol building on Saturday mornings.
It's all the time. Like every day, I'm thinking about 2 weeks in advance. So, like just to get ready for today, it's weeks in the planning. Like we sell beef sticks, so we have cows. We have to get those butchered, and then we're in the middle of making maple syrup, so we have to make sure we make enough maple syrup for the whole year.
Usually, the Murphs are known for their beef sticks, but on Saturday, eggs are one of their best sellers.
We haven't raised our prices on eggs for 4 years, and I finally did in January. We were at $5, and we raised them to $6. So I was a little leery coming today because I know the prices are starting to go down a little bit again. So I was willing to drop mine again, but it haven't affected me at all today.
Customers' sudden interest is likely because of price increases in response to the bird flu. Since the Murphys own a small farm, they were uncertain how many people would want to buy their eggs.
I was really worried because I haven't had to buy eggs in so many years, so I hear what they're going for kind of, but I don't know, I haven't had to do it.
The Murphs are expected to sell out of eggs by the end of Saturday's farmers market. Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanisha, thank you. Let's get a look at your first warn forecast with meteorologist Buddy Reeves. Buddy, it's been an absolutely beautiful day, but is there some rain on the way?
There is some rain on the way, but fortunately it's going to hold off until tomorrow, and it's not going to be a washout, so don't change any weekend plans. But right now on the backyard weather patio, there's a flurry of activity. Lots of birds. I saw a goldfinch, cardinal, but it was an absolutely beautiful day, especially if you hit the farmers market and or the Midwest Horse Fair today. Look at these current temperatures right now. At this hour, 63 degrees in Middleton, 61 in Madison, and mainly 60s across the board. As we widen out the view and take a look at the rest of southern Wisconsin, temperatures are in the 60s. We were actually in the 70s closer towards the state line as you head over towards Iowa. But as we take a look at Weather Track, again, we had clear skies, plenty of sunshine. That is going to change as we head on into tomorrow. And you can see some of that cloud cover starting to work its way into southern Wisconsin. But as you plan your evening, taking a look at one of our weather cams over on the east side of town, look for temperatures to basically dip down into the lower 50s overnight tonight with those scattered showers coming into the picture. And we are also tracking the Midwest Horse Fair. So if you have plans for that, it's going to be beautiful tomorrow. Again, splash and dash type showers and or thunderstorms, a cool start, but those chances of showers will be in the forecast. We'll track that out coming up in the full forecast.
All right, sounds good, buddy. Tell that goldfinch and cardinal we all said hello.
I will.
All right. A portion of Felon Road will be closed starting Tuesday for utility installation and improvements. The section of Felon Road from Lean Road to Commercial Avenue and Highway T will be closed for utility installation and improvements at the Felon Road and Bridle Way intersection. The work will require the closure of Felon Road and Bridle Way intersection. Additionally, for 1 month, there will be no connecting access from Commercial Avenue and Highway T to Lean Road, and detours will be necessary to navigate this closure. To an update now, 2 people are charged in connection to a homicide in Pleasant Springs last month. 18-year-old Creed Moore and 24-year-old Dwayne Johnson Jr. are accused of killing 23-year-old Kyle Thrasher at a BP gas station on March 7th. The sheriff's office said both the suspect and victim knew each other. The March 20th press conference, Captain Kerry Porter said Thrasher had been robbed. Moore is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, armed robbery, possession of a firearm convicted of a felon, and Johnson Jr. is charged with felony murder and robbery. A 78-year-old driver is dead after a crash in Stoughton Friday afternoon. Stoughton police reported that the crash occurred in the 500 block of Veterans Road just before 1 p.m., where the vehicle left the road and struck a tree. The driver was taken to Stoughton Hospital and later died. Beloit police have arrested a Rockford man in connection with a bank robbery that occurred October of last year. Mario L. Johnson Mans Jr. was taken into custody after allegedly robbing a bank. in the 2200 block of Cranston Road. He was taken into custody at Bluff Street and Highland Avenue on Thursday. In addition to the robbery charge, Beloit police also discovered Johnson Mans that he allegedly had a gun in his vehicle and was arrested for carrying a concealed weapon. Mercy Health has expanded its partnership with HealthNet of Rock County by offering behavioral services. 3 Mercy Health providers will begin seeing patients at HealthNet, ensuring increased access to mental health care. Mercy Health stated in a release the new offerings will allow the HealthNet to serve more patients struggling with anxiety, depression, and trauma and other behavioral health conditions. Additionally, Mercy Health will also provide an additional $100,000 annually to HealthNet for the next 3 years. Nearly 5 disposable vapes are thrown out every second in the U.S. That's according to U.S. Prig Education Fund. Our Elia Liberté shows us how one Janesville man is working to combat that issue one vape at a time.
Inside Smoker's World in Janesville, you'll find something that may seem out of place. A bin to get rid of your disposable vape. But this bin isn't just filled with vapes. In Jared Sheen's eyes, it's filled with technology.
There's voice recognition in some vapes, and then there's also ones like the vape phone that people probably have heard of, and ones that play music too, ones that play games, and it's endless.
Jared knows firsthand how much waste the small e-cigarette devices can produce, so he started Vape Waste Solutions.
Basically what we are is an initiative, a nonprofit that goes around to vape shops, places bins in the vape shops, and collects vapes so we can bring them back, open them up, and take all that technology out and repurpose it so it's not just getting thrown out.
Many disposable vapes use a lithium-ion battery, and according to Jared, they last about 2 weeks depending on the user. So oftentimes, those batteries just end up in the trash.
So I want to repurpose it either to make new tech out of it, for example, like battery banks where you could just recharge your phone or whatever with it, or to redistribute it back to companies that would be able to use it.
Right now, Jared's bin is only in Smoker's World, but in the month or so he's been doing it,
We got about 100 to 200 so far. It's not that much, but hopefully in the future we can build that up.
Reporting in Janesville, Elia Liberté, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you. If you want to get in touch with Jared to help collect vapes, you can find out how to do so on our website at channel3000.com. Coming up next on News 3 Now at 6, the CDC denies a request from Milwaukee's Public Health Department for help managing unsafe lead levels in public schools. Plus, newly unsealed federal records links a Wisconsin teen accused of killing his parents to an extremist group and manifesto laying out plans to launch a political revolution.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Thank you for staying with us. The CDC has denied a request to help manage unsafe lead levels in Milwaukee, Wisconsin public schools. The agency says it can no longer assist the city's health department after it lost its lead experts in the mass firings last week. Prior to the layoffs, the Milwaukee Health Department had been working with the CDC for 2 months to address hazardous lead contamination in multiple school buildings. Health and Human Services has said it is planning to continue to work on lead poisoning prevention and surveillance. Meanwhile, Milwaukee's health department says it is committed to finding local solutions. Lead is toxic to the brain. No levels of exposure are considered safe. A pair of beloved and endangered peregrine falcons in Wisconsin are believed to be dead of the bird flu. We Energies has announced the deaths of the two of its longest returning peregrine falcons, Bren and Beasley. Bren was found dead in the nest box in Port Washington. Bren's mate for almost 8 years, Beasley, has not returned to the nest box since a few days after Bren's death. He's believed to have also died. New details are emerging in the case of the Wisconsin teen accused of killing his mother and stepfather earlier this year. Newly unsealed federal records show the murders were part of a much larger plot, which included overthrowing the government and assassinating President Trump. Emily Pofall has the details.
A federal search warrant, unsealed Friday, details a murder plot as part of a plan targeting President Donald Trump. The documents attribute that plot to 17-year-old Waukesha student Nikita Kasap. charged in the shooting deaths of his mother, Tatiana, and stepfather, Donald Mayer, inside their home February 11th. According to prosecutors, the teenagers stayed inside the home with their bodies for 12 days.
Victim B body was appeared to have been deceased for some time, was unable to definitively identify who it was.
Police arrested Kassab in Kansas weeks later, finding him with his stepfather's car, gun, and $14,000. The motive for the murders, according to the federal warrant, was to use that money to fund a plan calling for the president's assassination, to, quote, foment a political revolution in the United States and save the white race. According to the records, Kassab shared an affinity for the neo-Nazi group, the Order of Nine Angles. And they also reference a 3-page manifesto quoted as saying, as to why, specifically Trump, I think it's obvious. By getting rid of the president and perhaps the vice president, that is guaranteed to bring some chaos. The records show Kassab on the platform's TikTok and Telegram discussed buying a drone to use in an attack. And investigators say he told a classmate, quote, when they saw 10 consecutive attacks in the news, it would have been him.
Investigators also say Kassab paid for, at least in part, a drone and explosives to be used as a weapon of mass destruction to commit an attack. Kassab remains in custody on a $1 million bond. Coming up next on News 3 Now at 6, the latest on the trade war between the U.S. and China. Plus, Buddy returns with a complete look of your First One forecast.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
There's a new development in the U.S.'s escalating trade war with China. Late Friday, the White House announced tariff exemptions for tech products, including iPhones. CBS's Christian Benavides has more.
In a move that marks a significant pivot in President Trump's tariff policy towards China, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection issued new guidance late Friday, stipulating smartphones, computers, and many other tech devices will be exempted from new tariffs imposed by President Trump. The move is good news for big tech companies, notably Apple, which manufactures most of its products in China, including the iPhone. The new guidance also includes exclusions for other electronic devices, including semiconductors, flat panel TVs, flash drives, and memory cards, and is being called something of a retreat in the Trump administration's escalating trade war with China. The White House said Saturday the exemptions were made because President Trump wants to ensure that tech companies have time to move production to the U.S. China's 125% tariff on U.S. goods takes effect this weekend after President Trump raised his tariff to 145% and excluded China from a 90-day pause, setting off a roller coaster week on Wall Street. Late Friday, the president held firm on tariff hikes for China.
We're talking to a lot of countries, and ultimately, we pretty much can do what we want to do, but we want to be fair. We can set the tariff, and they can choose not to deal with us, or they can choose to pay it.
In other global news, the White House concluded a day of talks with Iran Saturday that included discussions of nuclear weaponry.
I want them not to have a nuclear weapon. I want Iran to be a wonderful, great, happy country. But they can't have a nuclear weapon.
Iranian officials called the talks constructive. Discussions will continue next week in Oman. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Now let's take a look at your First One forecast with the meteorologist Buddy Reeves. Buddy, again, another beautiful day in southern Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I wish I could say it's going to continue, but we do have to deal with some showers and thunderstorm activity on your Sunday. But the good news is those temperatures will stay to the 60s on your Sunday. So let's break this down into the 3 things you need to know. We do have a couple of chances of seeing some showers and or thunderstorms tomorrow. Again, it's not going to be a washout, so don't cancel any outdoor plans. It's more of what I call the splash and dash type shower and thunderstorm activity. It is going to be rather breezy on Sunday, and this is going to last until Tuesday when a cold front comes through on Monday, and that's going to bring in some cooler temperatures by Tuesday, but it's going to be very short-lived as we will get back into the 60s again. Look at these high temperatures temperatures for today, 62 degrees here in Madison, 70s out as you head over towards Iowa. So temperatures were very spring-like across all of southern Wisconsin and in fact across the Midwest. Temperatures right now at this hour, they haven't cooled off very much. 61 here in Madison, 65 in La Crosse, and it's still in the 70s out towards Iowa. But you notice these arrows here, that basically means we have that southerly wind that is bringing in that warmer air, and that's going to continue as we head on into tomorrow. Tonight's forecast, look for those temperatures to dip down into the upper 40s to lower 50s, depending on where you're at across southern Wisconsin. 47 here in Madison, but over near Prairie du Chien, you will see 50 degrees, 48 for our friends in Platteville. It's as we get into tomorrow where we will have to contend with more cloud cover and the chance of seeing those splash and dash type showers and thunderstorms. Starting out the day at around 8 o'clock in the morning as we head on into the lunchtime hour if you're heading to the Midwest Horse Fair tomorrow. Again, it's going to be a lot more cloud cover than it was today where we had little to no cloud cover, and I wouldn't focus too much on where the shower activity is setting up. Again, it's going to be more of the scattered type. An isolated thunderstorm is possible. We are not expecting any severe weather at this point in time, but if that does change, we will let you know. And then by Sunday evening, those showers pull out, and as well the cloud cover as well, and temperatures are going to stay in the 60s. And then by Monday morning as you begin your work week or school, starting out in the 50s as well. Precip chances of seeing how much rain we're going to see, less than 1/10 of an inch. We're going to see more of the rainfall. That's going to be more towards northern Wisconsin. But then the 7 to 10 day forecast, you can see we do have a nice stretch of weather after we get through Tuesday. And we do have our next storm system on Thursday and Friday. And then look at those temperatures afterwards. We get back up into the 60s. And if people are curious, I know I am, I love the warmer weather. The 8 to 14 day temperature outlook is looking positive if you're wanting to see more spring-like temperatures in the long-term forecast. So more events are happening outside in April, so it's going to be beautiful. And we just have to get through, again, tomorrow with that scattered chance of showers. But overall, not looking too bad.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, even Tuesday, it's still in the 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody is going to complain about the weather being in the 50s.
As long as we don't have snow, I'm good, but I hope I just didn't jinx it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. All right, sounds good. Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
We'll be back with sports after the break.
They call the third day of the Masters moving day. Half the golfers were sent home yesterday, and today, the penultimate day, the cream usually rises to the top. Rory McIlroy looking for his first major win in over a decade. He started this round with a truly historic stretch, carding a 3 on each of his first 6 holes, including this chip in for eagle on 2. He heads into the final round 12 under, 2 ahead of the pack. But right on his tail, Bryson DeChambeau, yet another one of the world's best, also looking for his first Masters win, and this will help. Holes out from the fringe on 18. What a shot. He's 10 under on the weekend, alone in second place, chasing McIlroy. You see the leaderboard setting up a fantastic final round tomorrow. Coverage starts at 1 right here on CBS. The Bucks have come a long way since starting the season with 8 losses in their first 10 games. Last night, they locked up a 5 seed in the Eastern Conference in this year's playoffs, having won 7 straight contests. They'll play a familiar opponent in the first round of the postseason in the Indiana Pacers, but that's not what Doc Rivers is focused on. He says he's just happy that his team hit their stride at the right time.
You know, we're still trying to figure it out with what lineups without Dame and all that, but we had found ourselves, and we're playing terrific basketball. We're playing together. Giannis is trusting all his teammates. Him and Scoot are starting to really have some chemistry together. So we're doing a lot of things.
A facelift of philosophy is on the horizon for Wisconsin football, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. And the team's new offensive coordinator, Jeff Grimes, is thrilled with the way his team so far is eager to adapt. He compared it to someone coming into your workplace and throwing away all the training manuals, starting over and making you learn a new way to do your day-to-day in your job. His team, he says, has taken the change in stride, adapting an identity he identifies as tough, nasty, and disciplined.
I think it's what Wisconsin is. It's who Luke Fickell is, and we talk all the time about, as a team, about being tough, nasty, and disciplined, and You know, Wisconsin has won a lot of football games over the years with that mentality, and being gritty and being physical is who we are. And it doesn't just mean, all right, we're going to run the football.
And you guys will notice that Doc Rivers mentioned Damian Lillard and still trying to deal with how they're not going to have him on the floor, which makes you think that he's not going to be back anytime soon. He didn't say that specifically, but the worry continues that he may not be back for the postseason in those Bucks.
Yeah, and to that point, though, I mean, they have found ways to win. I think it's more so less about how the team is doing and more so how Giannis has played as of late.
No question.
It seems as if every other night he's putting up a triple-double.
Certainly, and Scoot or Kevin Porter Jr. has been terrific as well.
Absolutely. They have been getting hot as of late. Buddy, what should we expect before we head on out?
So if you're heading to the Midwest Horse Fair tomorrow, look for temperatures to get up into the 60s, splash and dash type showers and thunderstorms possible. Then after that, we have a small cool off down into the lower 50s, and then another storm system Thursday and Friday. Then we have an extended warm up after that, with temperatures getting close to 70 by the following Tuesday.
All right, sounds good. Thank you guys. And thank you all for joining us. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.